Welcome for a look behind the scenes of an upcoming exhibit, Fruits of Our Labor, here in Amsterdam North. It will be an exhibit at the last weekend in September. And I'm sitting here with Chris and Christina. Chris to my right and Christina on my left. And they're both part of this exhibit. They're both in it as artist studio hosting and as intern, but also artist participating in it. We're talking about you as artists and designers, and you both bring up the internship not as something that's unquestioned, but very much questioned with this project, the Fruits of Labor. Anyone who's watching this and has ever been an intern, hired an intern, or heard from an intern, it is quite an interesting experience to be at the bottom of the labor ladder.
By finding an amazing person and actually looking into the needs and deeds, I think I figured out that it has a lot of negativity around that is related to abused labor, about not educating an intern, about actually what you need and what you are hoping from someone, and what you actually can offer for it. Once I met Chris the first time, and we kind of shared our expectations and what we can offer for each other, and try to find mutual grounds to both gain what we would like to gain from each other, per se. For me, then it became very clear that I really wanted to create a very knowledgeable internship, because I was simply unable to afford the fair fee I think any intern should get. And I'm not talking about 500 euros, but actually at least 10 euros per hour for 40 hours per week. That's actually the well-paid.
Yeah,
that's the well-paid internship. When you can get between 300 to 500 euros, then it's a well-paid internship. In many ways, I seriously think it is insane to think that it's normal. It actually creates a very privileged position.
Because you are just like grateful for the opportunity in the first place, and anything that comes on top of it is just extra. And indeed, it should be different, but this is what it is currently.
I did not look for someone who just simply can execute something that I asked. So therefore, it is a really big ask, in my opinion, and noticing and understanding that, and what actually a studio usually offers for an intern in return, I started to question and doubt. Wanted to at least bring in knowledge that could be exchanged instead of cash or value, or like it could be used as value but not necessarily as cash. So for me it was very important that Chris would learn in the studio all those eyesights and tips and advices and knowledges that art schools are lacking providing to their students. So being a marketer is a new job, using advertising it's a new job, using social medias is actually an entirely a new job, doing financials, it's a job itself. So there are just so many things that it's impossible to teach in in any art schools, because that is, I think, somewhat is what a student should learn different things in an art school to figure out what they represent, what they want to do and how they want to do it. This knowledge that I felt was really useful and important for me to get a good head start after graduation. And in that sense, writing funding applications, organizing an exhibition if someone else not organizing it for you, etc., was important for me to pass it on to Chris, so they have an idea of like, okay, if things are not going ideally in your way, then you can still make your way through.
I think what like really was like something that stood out to me is that Christina really seemed to be like this open person who was like quite clear about what she wanted to get out of this experience, what she was offering, and what she wanted in return. I'm happy that it turned out to be like a really great, fruitful relationship and experience, and also how it evolved into like a sort of like internship program, so to say, in your studio, which was really great.
So we're talking here also about this in preparation for your exhibit. There's an exhibit end of this month. The title, Fruits of Our Labor. Tell me a little bit where that came from.
It started really naturally because we were both doing research, and again we were just like making this into like a thing that we shared together, and it became some sort of like start. of something. We didn't really know what it would become eventually, but we were just like teaming up with it, so to say. And then when we were starting to write and like put our research more into context, it was actually something that we thought of because it just makes perfect sense for how we went about the whole period of time that we were together, actually.
I'm sitting here between you, and I really appreciate the eye level. We're on an eye level, and I think this is so unique about this project, about this exchange of labor and of knowledge. That's really what I think you both stand for, and this is prototyping it. It's very innovative. Okay, so transitioning from this online conversation to this future moment of the exhibit at the end of September, when people will be walking into the space of the Embassy of the Art, what can they expect?
Anyone who comes to the space itself will be able to see two installations. One that Chris developed within the studio with my guidance, and one that I have developed with the help of Chris. And maybe you can tell a bit more about the installations itself?
Yeah, so basically I was able to work on a project of my own, like you mentioned. It's called As We Fall into Sequence, and it's basically in continuation of research I was already working on, but now I was able to like really make it the way I really wanted to, which has been, just like a blessing. And it's a topic regarding transhumanism. I'm talking about the future of biology. I'm discussing the ethics of the Anthropocene, so to say, and I will be doing that with like a physical installation and sculpture, and I'm looking forward to it.
I love the teaser in this and the alluding to things. Is there any material that you want to reveal already?
I can, because I'm inspired by natural processes, similar to the way biomimicry works in design. I'm interested in how natural processes in nature, or how natural processes are recurring in my own work, and I'm inspired by the process of metamorphosis for this particular work. And I have made my own slime from scratch that will be like a big part of the sculpture.
That sounds very engaging. Slime, metaphorism, yes. Yeah, we invite you to comment on this, to become part of this before, during, and after the fact. You're very open for questions, for feedback, and also criticism and things we didn't see. And if you're an intern, about to head into an internship, offering interns, we want to hear all angles of this experience and topic. And thank you very much for sharing this much, and see you.
Thank you for moderating. Thank you.